Okay, we're going from 17-inch ape hangers to 12-inch mini ape hangers. The reasons are the way this bike is at the moment with the handlebars and how it was when I was riding it. I used to get all sorts of different reactions, you know. People would run into their houses, other people would get their kids and come out, watch me ride past. That's for one thing. And for another, you know, build up traffic after work. You want to be able to get through the traffic, and they're not as wide, the new ones, so that'll allow me extra space for negotiating in between cars. I got the 12-inch, I was going to get 10, but I got the 12-inch because I believe it might allow me to work with the cables that I've already got. These cost about 130 on eBay. Okay, 17th of the 7th, 2016. Like I say in all my videos, or a lot of them, I'm not a mechanic and I'm not an auto electrician. So we just had a fairly long break from bikes. I'm trying to get back into bikes at the moment. I'll just do this job as it needs to be done. Yeah, okay, so we've got two inlet points here in between the clamps, and we've got a hole here with the original ones, and further up there's a hole there, and then the exit hole just there. Same on the other side, goes in there. We've got a hole here. I presume it's to work the cable out. Again, a hole there and an exit hole. I'll start off by drilling the holes here, and I'll attempt to bring it out in one go, out the exit hole. So yeah, a hole here, hole there, and one at the exit points. So yeah, I just got the drill, and I drilled in straight, and then I turned it out on a fairly wide angle to allow the cable to slide down. Okay, so there's the top, that's the bottom, so I'll turn it around. What I'm seeing at the moment is for this one, behind we've got brown running to the right and green running to the left of the switch. On this one I've got red running to one side and black one running to the other side. For the high-low switch I've got yellow running to the top, blue running to the middle, and this white one here runs to the bottom. So yeah, the horn is red and black, and the turn signal is brown and green. The lights high-low are yellow top, blue the middle, and white the bottom one. And that's the clutch side. And now on the throttle cable side, okay, the throttle side, on the on-off switch there, we've got on the top we've got the blue, and then the white runs to the bottom joiner, and then the white runs off that to the this button on the left hand side. On the turn button we've got brown runs to one side and green runs to the other side. And here the red and the yellow run into the brake switch just there. So again, on the switch, which by the way is broken, you'll probably see there a big crack just right through it, so I'll have to replace that. But anyway, on the switch we've got blue running to the top, the white lead running underneath, and then the white running off that to this switch here. Could have been the starter motor switch maybe. It doesn't have a starter motor. It doesn't have a starter on it. Then the turn signal, we got green and brown. And the red and yellow run inside of the brake switch. So yeah, of course, if you were putting higher handlebars on your bike, you'd have to extend all of the cables. It just makes you wonder how they actually got it in there in the first place. That was very hard to get out, and as you can see, it's actually scraped its way right through the hole. I'm finding I'm having more luck if I actually sort of rotate it out, like I get my finger there and just sort of turn it out. That's the best way. These things are massive. Okay, so drilling the holes 10 millimeter, and just sort of routing them out so the cable could go in on an angle was well worth it. What I did was I wrapped it up with tape to protect it. I covered it with diesel engine lubrication oil. I fed, before bringing the wire through, I threaded a piece of wire through this hole, then that hole. I made a hole, I put the wire through and just dragged it out using that technique where I threaded around just to protect the edge. So I'll attempt to give you an idea of the technique I use now. So I threaded in back to front from bottom to top. It's just thin gauge wire. You can probably see the wire in there. Yeah, so I just fish it out with a small hook. Oh, where's it gone? It's disappeared. Put the wire through. Just like electrical work. Which I suppose it is really. And then bend it back. And there you go. Just drag it through. Okay, some oil. Just to help it go through the bends. Now for the hand grips. Okay, it's getting late. I'll pack it up for now and continue later on. Okay, it's actually a couple of months after the previous clips, and I'll carry on with wiring up the handlebars now. Okay, this is absolutely not easy work. It's fairly challenging. I'm keeping an eye, keeping documentation of the work being carried out, just so that I don't rewire it or do any wiring wrong. So yeah. Okay, now I'll start to join the wires. Okay, that's it. My soldering iron doesn't work anymore for some reason, and a few of these solders broke off, especially here, close to where the handlebar goes through. There's not much space, and it's very hard to get all the wiring to sit in here. A fair amount of stress goes on the contact points. Okay, we're about 4 months into the future. I've got a few extra things for the bike. I've got a bag of shrink wrap because tape takes up too much room, and I've learnt that you need to keep these wires as short as possible, and the less bulk the better in the control voids, or the areas where you can store the wires. Just on another subject, it's a good idea to keep these, that's your bleeder valve on your caliper, and if you don't cover this hole, then water gets down, rain and everything around the piston. So I just use these boots to just to cover up the hole. Like so. Okay, so yeah, take two. So I'll have to cut these wires and re-expose the copper wire. Okay, I've attached these wires where they should be, and I've made them as short as possible and exposed the wires. So the colours of the wires, we've got brown and green going to this one. We've just got the white going to there. I think that was the starter button. The run off on switch, we've got the white going to the bottom one, and the blue going to the middle, and the top is doesn't have a wire. Okay, what I'm going to do now is just shorten these by about 30 or 40 millimeter, so then there's less wire to store up inside the this area here. So I'll cut them now, and I'll expose the wires. Now I'll get the shrink wrap and I'll just put it on there. Okay, I'll just I'll bend those solders flat, so I'll turn them down like so, just so that I can get the shrink wrap over. Now I'll put that shrink wrap up over the solder joins. Okay, so now I have to try and fit this up and find a way for those wires to all compact inside there. I've got a bit of slack with the wire here, the main wire running out, so I'm able to push that up inside the handlebars, and we'll just see how we go. And that seems a bit more hopeful, so I'll work with this for a while. I'll put a bit more insulation tape around the handlebars just for good luck. Yeah, so far it's going really well with the new soldering iron, the shorter leads, and this shrink wrap. So I'd say it's got a 50% chance of working. Okay, so you can see the system I'm using. I've got an A-frame ladder, medium sized, with an adjustable plank going out across and resting on top of the cross brace on the frame. Got my shrink wrap, and it's unplugged now, but a lead for the soldering iron, electrical wire clips. I've got a diagram I drew up at the start of the video, electrical tape and solder, and a few other tools. I'm doing the shrink wrap with a gas or a propane tank. Anybody putting on higher or lower handlebars, I'll give you a few tips. With these joiners, with this type of switch here at the back of it, solder your wires so that they come off at an angle. Don't solder them so they come straight out, because they're going to go on the round of your handlebars here. So bring them out to the side and they'll thread around and store away in the other side. Another thing, if you're going to use a soldering iron, they often break away. It often takes a few times to get the wire and the solder to stay on these prongs coming out of the back of the switch. But once you get a good hold, then it'll stay. Okay, that was the throttle side, or the right hand side. Now we're coming around to the left hand side. What I need to do is work out where to remove this black plastic cover. So you've got the throttle there, so that gap I'd have to build out the same distance there, so something like that, and I'll just cut it around about there. Okay, so same thing, expose the wires here, get the correct length, expose the wires, join them, solder them, and take it from there. Okay, the shrink wrap. Okay, so when I put it together, I just put the face on and all the wires tucked up on this side underneath, and I put the cap on that, and it's all in place. Another tip with this job, if you're going to use shrink wrap, when you're doing the soldering, just make sure you don't touch the soldering iron up against the heat wrap or the shrink wrap, because it'll shrink wherever it is. You won't be able to move it over the join. So yeah, I just felt that the other handlebars were a little bit too high and didn't really suit the bike. This is much better for getting in between traffic or lane filtering, and oh, they look alright too. Plus I can save all the cables, throttle, clutch, front brake. I think it looks okay. Gives the bike a fairly thin look. There are handlebars that I did want to buy, but it was just price mainly, because getting stuff over here is fairly expensive. Oh, they'll be alright. I like those black ones that sort of come out square, more square, and with the you know, the handlebars, the throttle and the grips come out sort of more straight on either side. They're about $100 more expensive, so these ones will do. And now we'll do a light check, and it's all good.